Yeah, I'm going to give that 1 point here. Not sure where it matters because, yeah, we are already at like end. Well, can I mark this one? At the scatter yards, really interesting. Go there. The workshop of Cadet's data scraper friend is just as the two of you left it. Remember the cycles you and Cadet spent in here poring over the dark data, the strange fragments of the drone mines protests, seated amongst the cold code. You find the drive where Cadet told you it would be, in a compartment under the padding of a bunk lined with thick shielding that makes its contents undetectable. As you pull the drive out, the metal cold on your hands, you have a sudden urge to smash it to pieces. This object which escaped Hexport when so many others didn't. Someone somewhere wanted the data only so badly they would spend any number of lives to get it. Something went wrong, some miscommunication or mistake, that's all it was, a tiny slip, and it all fell apart. Now the drive is in your hands instead. Turn it over in your hands, you know the drive contains common access codes, control codes, and perhaps more besides. Data of great value. Data that would win the war. You also know you are sick of thinking about it. Take the drive. You slip the drive into your pocket and close up the workshop. Get back to the rig, and as you do, you turn the drive over in your pocket, unsure what the next step might be. As you glide through the hub, you pass ship fitters and crews, all moving on their own vectors. It feels strange to carry the drive past these people, all of them totally unaware of the threat might pose to them to this station. Of course he survived. Of course he fucking survived. Excuse me. Stranger stops you in the passageway with a hand on his shoulder. Can I ask for your help with something? Your sudden appearance shakes you out of your thoughts. You quickly take your hand out of your pocket, off the drive. You look at a stranger in front of you. He is roughly dressed in a heavy coat. He is otherwise unremarkable. You'd have passed him many times before and not have known. I'm looking for something. He throws his glasses at you. A little lost drive. Who are you? This matter concerns my client more than me. He leans back a little, voice calm. Though introductions won't be necessary, but the drive belongs to my client, and he'll be very happy to see it returned. Suddenly something catches your eye, a set of dice like those used to play Star and Stoker. Strangers playing with them in one hand, turning them end over end in the station's microgravity. What's with the dice? Stranger looks down at them as if he had forgotten he was holding them. I must admit, I love to play games to pass the time. I enjoy the chaos of Star and Stoker, with its unpredictable shifts, against the floating dice. My brother, however, prefers the systematic progression of Tavla, with its inevitability. Oh, so his brother, that was his brother on the eye. I suppose it runs in our family. Nice. But I won't bore you with childhood stories. Please, let's be direct. Gives you a friendly smile. My search for the drive brought me to the scatter yards, but from here the trail went cold. That was until you arrived. Just his glasses up his face. Then the trail lit back up again. Like that. Stranger moves his hand in his jacket pocket a little, and you see a shape in there, a box-like impression in the fabric. My client never intended these events, you must understand. One of their other contractors proved to be overzealous in an attempt to conceal their mistakes. The result was the regrettable situation you saw in Hexport. But for all that to be for nothing, that would be a waste beyond the original act, piling insult on injury. Stranger sighs. There is much to be gained in a system desperate for peace, for the war to be ended, and wars tend to end when one side concedes. The drive will win the war? Ranger laughs. My client will greatly benefit from its retrieval. Anymore is hard to judge without seeing the provenance of the data. Only a few possible futures remain for the belt. My client will facilitate one of the better ones, that is why I am here. But if you need additional persuasion, I am authorized to offer you 300 cryo as a reflection of your efforts. Ranger smiles again, his tone never straying from its businesslike calm. Now, can you return my client's drive? Ranger's hand shifts in his jacket pocket. You have a feeling this is not a choice you can deny. Break the drive. Grip the drive in your pocket so hard the casing starts to crack. The stranger's eyes flash a warning. You dash the drive against the metal wall of the passageway, splintering into 1,000 shards that pepper the two of you with cuts and scratches. The stranger shakes his head. A regrettable decision. You hold yourself ready, expecting a retaliation, but it does not come. The stranger simply turns and clunks away down the passage, not willing to waste another word on you. Transaction is complete. You head back to the rig, and as you do, await lifts with each corridor, each junction. As you board the transit shuttle that will take you to Marco's yard, back to the rig, you think of exporting what is left of that place. You'll never forget what happened to the station, but you will not let it steer your future. Cadet refused to be sucked into that web of secrets, and now you refuse to. There will be no account of Senate stats crimes. There will be no reckoning. But there will be a life outside of the future they want for the belt. You know it. Yeah, dealt with it, technically. A, B, B, B. 6? Yeah, call that. Cool. She needs one final batch of Solheim data to complete her work on the mainframe and lay the foundation for her archive. You've been waiting for what feels like a long time. Junie insists you can't help, so you find yourself floating in the baking heat of the HABPP mainframe while she taps away at her terminal. As you do, you can't help but shake the feeling of a presence nearby, one that you are coming to understand, some remnant of Overseer. You don't know if Overseer was ever really a person, but now, with their many selves combined and dispersed, their consciousness expanding to fill the vast space of the HABPP and its networks, they surely aren't even close to human anymore. You think of them as a ghost, but perhaps now they are better understood as something less mournful, as a system, a process, a thing becoming. The entire situation is their body, and their station is their body. You can't help but wonder how that feels. And we are ready. Junie hits a key on her terminal with percussive force. It'll take a little while, but we'll be online in a few moments. Looks flushed with excitement. Gee? Weren't you listening last time? Junie squints at you. Don't tell me you drifted off. Thinking about Overseer. Junie shakes her head. And you don't know. Suddenly looks concerned. Voice screeches out of the terminals. It descends in pitch from a squeal to speaking. Then below the mainframe, a flickering projection appears, first as lines and then as solid light. Welcome, visitors. Warden flickers and warps. I'm the Warden. Please provide. Demi jerks and freezes, then blinks out. Shit. Junie taps at her terminal. Need to reconfigure her for the HABPP environment. The Warden? Seriously? What? Junie doesn't look up from the terminal. I told you last time we need a way to process and understand all this data. Warden is perfect. This better not blow up in our faces. Won't. Junie glances over her shoulder. If taking precautions, she can't hurt us. The technician is right. Warden's clipped voice echoes through the cavernous mainframe bay. My protocol is operating under safe mode limitations. Warden's blind eyes stare out over your head. Do not be concerned, Officer Dahl. Sorry, I'll fix that. Junie chuckles. Why the Warden? Archiving was her role in the bunker. She's ideally suited to this. She understands Solheim networks better than we ever could. Junie smiles. Come on, you have to admit this is pretty cool. Look at a statuesque figure of Warden, once at the heart of Solheim's intelligence gathering operations across the belt. Could such a tool of corporate oversight ever be used for something good? Look, watch this. Junie turns to Warden. Warden? Provide the last known location of every Solheim vessel above Rieger class in the starboard belt. Immediately, technician. Gordon draws a circle with a pointed finger and it expands, filling with bright specks. First hundreds and then thousands. Constellation of sights. See? Juni grins. This is our future. Built on the foundation of our past. These tools are ours now. You look at the arc of specks, the points of light describing the shape of a long-dead corporation's power. This is incredible. Juni smiles. It is. People need to know what this system is built on. Warden can do that, expose that. It will be up to us to reshape the ruins into something new. I knew when I saw her that I couldn't leave her there, alone in the dark. I've been in the dark pit, and I won't condemn another being to it. And looks at the placid Warden. Human or not, how we treat her is a test of our own values, of the world we project. Data is not a currency, it is not a commodity, it is the immaterial output of a system, a structure, a society. Juni meets her eye. This will be a place to uncover that system for ourselves. Looks around the chaotic trailing wires and the floating terminals. Once I've cleared up a bit, he laughs. You and Juni spend a little longer in the mainframe, sorting cables and offering Warden casual queries. Not all of them return useful information, and Juni begins listing out the changes she will need to make. After a while, you both find yourself tiring, heads aching, with all the fresh information you have crammed into them. So you close up the core and ascend back through the layers of the facility to Darkside's surface. As you do, you feel the history of each strata, the layers that make up this place and the belt beyond. Now more than ever, it feels tangible to you, as if it contains not only the past, but the promise of the future as well. And that's the last side quest complete. We have only one thing to do.